What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another clubs video. Today we've got some more gameplay, some more goals and some more wins in the 6, 7 or 8 games or so that's here today. We played another good day of clubs. Started off really badly actually. I streamed for 2 hours and in that stream we lost 4 I think, drew 1 and won 1. Wasn't really clicking, and after that we ended up clicking really well and ended up scoring a whole bunch of good goals and winning a whole bunch of games. As you can probably tell by some title, something to do with promotion. We got promoted. I think we're up into Division 3 now, so we're getting up to Division 1 really quickly. We only started the club like 3 days ago, so the fact we're already right up there is obviously very nice. Hopefully we can get to Division 1 ASAP, so we can really just start to see where we sit as a club. Now, I will ultimately eventually do live stuff with clubs. I think it captures the essence a little bit more with, you know, the good chat between the guys that do it, the banter with the easy misses and the goals conceded and some cool goals and stuff like that. But for today's episode, I wanted to do this one as a post-com again, just because I got a lot of comments in the last video and I really wanted to address a few of them here today. So I think we'll do a good mix of some live, some post-com throughout the coming days, weeks and months. And the first comment is from 2TM18, and this comment was thumbed up a lot and mentioned a whole bunch. Even though I referenced it and answered it in the last video, or the first video ultimately, it says press the touchpad to switch to the ball, or the back button if you're on Xbox, and I absolutely know that. I just prefer the camera that tracks my player. Now, today you'll see that I actually do track the ball for today's games. For some of them, I think I tracked the player for a few of them because I wanted to see what impact it made on my gameplay. I struggle to play following the ball. I much prefer to follow the player because it just allows me to get into the pockets of space and play my game a little bit better. But I think for video purposes, obviously, it will be pretty boring if you're just constantly looking at me standing on the halfway line when we concede goals, and when we go up front and score goals, sometimes it's tracking me so you don't even get to see the goal. So I'm going to do my best to change that, and I know some people recommended that I go into co-op camera. I don't mind going to co-op camera for clubs. It's a pretty cool camera. I actually used to use it for FUT, but once again, in terms of for content creation, the camera's so zoomed out you can barely see what's happening on the field, and it actually makes for a negative viewing experience. So I don't know if I'll do that. I'll like tamper with that. We'll have a few games on the co-op camera, maybe one episode where we play 3 or 4 live games on the co-op camera, and we'll get feedback from you guys as to whether or not the camera is good or not. The newly Dylan Thomas says yes, more pro clubs but with the voice chat of the team. As I already mentioned, it will have the voice chat with everyone. The reason why I didn't actually do it today, because I was going to do it today, is because I just didn't have my setup prepared to record my desktop audio. It's something that I haven't done in a long time, so I need to just change a few things in my recording setup so that it also captures the voice of everybody else that's playing. As soon as I do that, boom, it will be live. In fact, hopefully next episode, which isn't going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a day of New Star Soccer Manager, and I'll get to that in a second. Or maybe Fortnite tomorrow as well. Maybe Fortnite, maybe New Star Soccer Manager. But we're going to be going through some New Star Soccer Manager stuff as well. But yeah, over the next couple of days. And one of the comments, of course, was from Lossif Nassar. Says, please don't stop with New Star Soccer Manager. I won't stop with New Star Soccer Manager. I think what I will do instead, though, is do a day on New Star Soccer Manager where I'll upload like 3 or 4 episodes on the same day, so we'll ultimately get almost a week's worth of content in one day. Because those videos are quite long, but they're relatively simple to make, and they're not the most viewed on the channel, I still want to produce that content because A, I really like the app, and B, you guys that do watch it really enjoy watching it, so I want to make sure I still give that to you. So if I just give like a day where we do minimum of 2 or 3 episodes, maximum of 4 or 5 episodes, and boom, we go through that, and we get into a point where, you know, where we can get New Star Soccer out. Maybe we'll have like New Star Soccer Sundays. Obviously it's Sunday today, so maybe we'll do New Star Soccer Mondays, and just every Monday it will just be New Star Soccer stuff. And then on Tuesdays through Sunday, we'll alternate between pro clubs and Fortnite, depending on what I've got content for. So I don't have any content backed up right now. So for tomorrow's video, it could be a Fortnite video if I record one tonight. If I don't get any good gameplay footage, it'll be a clubs video. So we'll just rotate through those, because these are the 2 aspects of the game that I'm really enjoying playing right now. Shazomar says you should be able to use EASFC coins to buy players that could be used for CPU in pro clubs. And yeah, I think a lot of people agreed with a lot of things I talked about with pro clubs yesterday. I think a lot of people that were watching don't realise that I've played pro clubs for many years, and I'm very in touch with the game mode itself. I just don't play it on line. So, you know, I had a lot of people telling me, you should boost these points, and this is how you boost points. Like, I do appreciate that you guys are just trying to look out and you're just trying to help, but I'm fully engaged with this game mode. I know it pretty well. And if I don't know something, I will ask you guys, though. And for example, I'll ask you guys, what is, in your experience, the best formation that you've used at a high level? And what kind of like goal to game ratio do you have? What rating are you? How many games have you played? Let me know. Like, just put your stats and facts and figures in the chat. It'd be interesting to read through some of those, actually. But yeah, I do agree that EA SFC points are pretty much used for nothing right now. You know, if you're over level 100, you probably have 300, 400, 500, 1 million plus of them just spare, and you've bought everything in the catalogue, and they're just useless. So it's definitely an area of the game that EA can absolutely utilise and upgrade in the very near future, I hope. Ahmad Nafa says, hey Nep, don't you think that because of our request as a community, FIFA is ruined? Would it be better if EA just did their thing? Love the content, by the way. I'm going to reiterate some points that we've talked about over the past few days, weeks and months in both channels, streams, Twitter and Reddit for me. But there is a problem, there's an underlying problem, because if you would have said to me just before Team of the Season, what's wrong with this game, I would have been able to give you some answers of what I thought was wrong with the game, and then some examples of things that I thought would have been good for the game. However, EA did some things that I thought would be examples that would be good for the game, and it turns out that they just created more frustration and more reason to be like, okay, I don't want to play this game. For example, the Nation SBCs, I think they're genuinely fantastic. The problem with them is that as players, they're not comparable, not competable with players that are the meta right now, and so they're useless at this time in the game. And so I think, you know, the community, that, like, let's say the community is 1 million people, right? I know it's bigger than that, but let's say it's 1 million people. If 50,000 people are really unhappy with something and making themselves heard, and then EA say, wow, we've got a lot of noise about this, let's do this, and then what they do for those 50,000 people ends up upsetting 50,000 of different people that aren't part of that 50,000, that new 50,000 people are now going to be going like, well, we don't want this. Who even asked for this? Why are you doing this? Don't do this. And so you're going to be like, whoa, maybe we made a mistake here. And then another group of people are going to be like, well, hold on, this just isn't what we wanted at all. And there's so many people, that, like, the community in FIFA is so big, and so many people have an idea in their mind of what they want for them, that there's no just right answer. And I've come to learn that a lot over the last sort of month or so since the World Cup mode came out, really, is that in some areas EA just can't win. They're just damned if they do and damned if they don't. It doesn't matter what they do in some regards, they can't win. And what it ultimately comes down to is that it doesn't matter what they do at all, realistically, at this current stage, because the gameplay just isn't fun, and the game just isn't fun. And the reason why the game isn't fun is because it's been geared so heavily towards professional play for you know, just competitive play, that like the casuals can't possibly have fun. And if you're not a casual, if you're a hardcore player, you're thrown into the most stressful situations and funneled into a game mode where you're forced to play it for the best rewards for a 3-day period. And it creates a resentment factor from the player base within the game. And that's never going to be good for the game. You know, when your players resent your game, they won't play your game. And, you know, when you look at the game, everything about this game is geared towards FUT Champs. You can see it. The tournaments are for qualifying for FUT Champs. The SBCs are relatively for fun, but you can't really afford to do any SBCs unless you grind the hell out of this game, or unless you spend a crap ton of money in this game. And for your general casual player, they can't even qualify for FUT Champs. So they're pretty screwed. But yeah, I think, you know, Fuji hit the nail on the head on Twitter, and I've talked about this to many other YouTubers before and stuff, but the competitive scene and the fact that EA have generated this competitive scene has actually killed the fun aspect of this game. And from that, there is a comment actually from Avid HD Gamer. He says, Nep, like you said on Twitter, is that... Oh, no. He said, like I said to you on Twitter, you're the only FIFA YouTuber I'm currently still watching. Unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say that I rarely drop a like on your vids. That's actually not what I wanted to look at. It's this one, from Wood94. It says, hey, Nep, long-time fan. I echo the sentiments of the comment that you read in the video regarding to watching whatever content you put out, but I think now that the game of the cycle is a perfect time for exploration. Coins aren't an issue for you now, so maybe you should make themed teams and play a division run with them. And he continues to go on. But, you know, the thought of just playing FIFA in Ultimate Team... just in Division 1 is just not something I care for. You know, because of how few people are playing this game right now, I'm literally going to be matching up against the best of the best that are also still playing on divisions. And it's not fun. That's the sad part. It doesn't matter what 11 players you have out there, because only the meta is going to help you win games to the maximum capacity. And if you use anything other than the meta, you're just going to get screwed from people. Like, you know, if I build a fun MLS team, because there are so many amazing MLS players out there, but not a meta 11, all I have to do is come up against a meta team in a season Premier League team, and I'm just going to get destroyed, right? Because not necessarily destroyed or lose, I might still win, but it's going to be an unenjoyable game because I'm forced to play a specific way with a specific formation just to make the cogs turn, and it just really isn't fun. However, building squads and having fun and playing games is something that I do enjoy in FIFA, which is why I'm liking the draft over on the main channel. And building squads, I'm not saying no, I won't build fun squads and play games with them. Just right now, I'm actually really enjoying not playing Ultimate Team and just playing either Draft, which I know is an Ultimate Team, but either Draft, Clubs, or Fortnite. I'm actually really enjoying those three things. And one last comment we got was from Avit. He says, "Nep, like I said to you on Twitter, you're only FIFA on YouTube I'm currently watching on a daily basis. Unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say that I very rarely drop a like on your vids, but guess what I instinctively done as soon as I see this Clubs vid?" And he dropped a like. And for those of you that are watching the video right now that stayed to the end here, without me finishing Avit's comment because we're running out of time here, I really appreciate every time you guys view, like, favourite, put a comment or anything. And if you can, it doesn't affect you as long as it's not connected to your Twitter timeline or anything. But if you could drop a like on the video, it really helps me out as a content creator. It helps get my videos into recommended and into searches. So if you guys could do me a solid and drop a thumbs up on the video, it would be amazing. This, though, guys, is going to be the end. We end up getting promoted. As I say, I think we're in Division 3 now, which is awesome. Hopefully we'll be in Division 1 over the next couple of days. This is the end of the video, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.